Donald Trump has moved with kill teams, flown with nuclear briefcases, and been guarded by some of the most elite agents on Earth. But even with all that, he wasn't prepared for what he saw in Moscow, because Vladimir Putin's security didn't just protect him, it erased weakness entirely, and what Trump witnessed left him visibly shaken. But to understand why, we first need to step inside the world of the most heavily guarded presidents in the world, and it begins with President Alexander Lukashenko, who once landed in his compound wearing full tactical gear and an AK-47. Alexander Lukashenko, Belarus. Power wears a uniform and flies in a helicopter for decades. Alexander Lukashenko has ruled with an iron grip, but it is how he protects himself that truly shows the scale of his ambition. His inner circle does not just guard him, they create a force field of silence and steel around him. And for those who have seen it up close, it feels less like security and more like preparation for war. In 2020, during one of the most turbulent moments of his rule, Lukashenko was filmed landing inside his presidential compound in a VIP Mi-8 helicopter. He stepped out in full tactical gear, not a ceremonial uniform, tactical black bulletproof vest, and an AK in hand at his side. Were masked commandos, silent, armed, and moving in formation. This was not a political appearance, it was a message. Anyone who challenges him would be met with force, not words. That performance was not just for show. Lukashenko's palaces are surrounded by what locals call militarized zones, surveillance towers, arms checkpoints, facial recognition scanners, and motion-triggered alarms are standard. Protesters who try to get close and never make it far. Some vanish before they even reach the gates, and inside the security staff answer only to Lukashenko, handpicked, heavily vetted, and rewarded handsomely for loyalty. But this was just the beginning of his obsession with control behind closed doors. Lukashenko has spent hundreds of millions from state funds on private luxury, and hidden defense investigations reveal palaces gilded with marble, private airports for discreet departures, and convoys of armored Maybachs and Rolls-Royces fitted with counter-surveillance systems. These are not official government purchases. These are items of a man who knows that enemies might come from outside or inside. Even more disturbing is the size of the force. The size of the force surrounding him. His presidential security service operates in total secrecy. Recruits from the most loyal branches of the military, intelligence and psychological warfare, and counterintelligence and psychological warfare. And unlike other security outfits, this one functions like a shadow government, tracking dissent, tapping phones, and identifying potential threats before they ever reach the streets. Foreign intelligence agencies have described Lukashenko's protection detail as one of the most paranoid in Europe. Surveillance cameras with AI motion learning have been spotted near his residence's acoustic sensors are installed in public halls to detect stress and voices. Even the airspace above his convoy routes is routinely locked down during movement. The convoy itself includes identical vehicles, some carrying Lukashenko, others just acting as decoys, all aligned with blast-proof material and fire suppression systems, and the driver's ex-military trained in evasive combat maneuvers. Then came the most unsettling detail of all. A former insider leaked that Lukashenko rotates his staff so often that no one can grow two familiar chefs, cleaners, assistants. They are reassigned constantly. Every door has eyes, every window is watched. It is not protection, it is total surveillance, a state within a state built to keep one man untouched. But this was only one chapter in the global game of armored paranoia, because while Lukashenko rules with fear the next president on, this list turns security into a deadly form of strategy, where even the sky above him is considered a battlefield. 9 Reap type Erdogan, Turkey. Reap type Erdogan does not walk alone. Wherever he goes, he brings the weight of an empire in motion. His presence is signaled Not by sirens, but by silent street shutdown signals go dark, and through it all a convoy moves like a war parade carved out of steel and fear official. Government records reveal that Erdogan's security costs have skyrocketed in recent years. In 2022 alone, over 527 million Turkish lira, about 28 million US, was spent just to keep the president safe. That number did not shrink. In fact, it more than doubled in 2023, crossing 1.1 billion. The spending shocked the public, but those close to the security system knew exactly where the money was going. His security is not just tight, it is relentless. Erdogan rarely moves without an army of bodyguards. Not a figure of speech. Analysts estimate around 5,000 elite guards remain on call around the clock. These operatives train in close quarters, combat counterterrorism and rapid response tactics. They do not just follow Erdogan, they clear the space ahead of him, scan the terrain, control crowds, and monitor every face in a crowd before it can become a threat. The scale of his convoys staggering when Erdogan moves entire districts. Prepare and advanced local law enforcement works with military police helicopters, hover overhead. Armored personnel carriers take position at crossroads. His motorcade often stretches over 20 vehicles long, including armored SUVs, communication trucks, and decoy cars. At the center of it all rides his personal Mercedes-Benz S00 Guard, a custom-built bomb-proof, bullet-resistant machine with an oxygen supply system, fire suppression tech, and emergency medical equipment on board. But Erdogan does not trust foreign roads either. When he travels abroad, his armored convoy flies with him on military cargo planes. He does not rely on host countries. On military cargo planes, he does not rely on host countries. For protection, he brings his own battlefield fully equipped from the airport tarmac to the summit venue. Every movement is rehearsed, guarded, and monitored by Turkish forces. This obsession with security grew from years of political unrest, coup attempts, and growing international threats. Erdogan has survived multiple assassination plots, and his response has been clear. He has surrounded himself with force-built layers of defense and ensured that no one gets close without being watched. His public appearances are timed to the second. His speeches are flanked by sharpshooters hidden in nearby buildings, drone jammers, signal blockers, and facial recognition software work behind the scenes. Every hand he shakes is vetted in advance. Every camera flash is scanned for unusual heat signatures or hidden transmitters. Yet in the heart of the Middle East, there is a younger ruler who never waited for chaos to shape him. He was born into absolute control and built his security not as a reaction but as a throne of dominance. 8 Mohammed bin Salman, Saudi Arabia. Mohammed bin Salman crown. Prince of Saudi Arabia operates inside a kingdom of luxury and surveillance where security is more than protection. It is the architecture of fear. His presence does not just require guards, it demands transformation of entire cities. When MBS moves, roads are cleared in advance. Snipers are placed on rooftops. Surveillance drones circle from the sky. Airspace above his convoy is restricted and private. Jets with military-grade jammers accompany him for overseas trips. Even foreign airports are partially locked down when he arrives, but this is just the outer layer. At the center of his security machine is the elite Royal Guard Regiment. They are trained by Western contractors and selected for loyalty above all else. These are not ceremonial soldiers. They are warriors in designer uniforms, armed with custom rifles, facial recognition glasses, and encrypted radios. Their job is not only to shield the crown prince, it is to erase doubt. No one gets close, no one raises questions. Many of these officers are trained in psychological response, watching for micro-expressions of threat, hesitation, or fear. Their earpieces connect to an underground command center that can trigger lockdowns. In seconds, MBS reportedly travels with his own chef's medical teams, portable surveillance rooms. His convoy includes armored SUVs, mobile signal jammers, and support helicopters. Some vehicles cost over $1 million, each customized with 360 degrees bulletproof plating and self-destruct defense modes in case of a breach. But the most shocking detail is what surrounds his palace grounds. Security walls rise with precious sensitive foundations beneath them, live motion detectors, buried sonar wires, and thermal scanning fields. Every servant visitor and staff member is tracked by biometric checkpoints that monitor movement, voice print, and even heartbeat irregularities. After the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi in 2018, reports emerged that MBS's personal security intensified dramatically. Inside his compound, AI surveillance software now monitors facial movements in real time. Certain expressions like frowns or narrowed eyes are flagged and logged. No reaction goes unnoticed. Some insiders claim that even the Crown Prince's closest advisors have to pass daily loyalty screening. A single suspicious message or recorded hesitation can result in disappearance, not suspension, not reassignment, disappearance. MBS does not rely on luck. His world is choreography to the second, and those who slip out of sync are removed without explanation. He does not just control his environment, he owns every second of it. But even his palace gates cannot match the levels of surveillance and psychological warfare built into the next leader's world. 7. Vladimir Zelenskyy, Ukraine. Vladimir Zelenskyy does not walk through danger. Does not walk through danger, he lives inside it. Since the invasion of the power. Vladimirsky does not walk through danger, he lives inside it. Since the invasion of Ukraine, he has become the face of resistance, but the price of that image is a life wrapped in paranoia. Zelenskyy is a walking target in an active war zone, and his security reflects it in ways the public rarely sees. At the start of the war, Zelenskyy refused to flee, choosing instead to remain in Kiev. That decision forced Ukraine's security apparatus to rethink everything. His protection detail was multiplied overnight. Snipers, intelligence units, and foreign advisors joined local teams to form a hybrid shield of NATO strategies and Ukrainian grid. As officials confirmed, they've provided constant military intelligence to aid in protecting him. British SAS units were also reportedly deployed to Kiev for classified advisory roles. Zelenskyy's whereabouts are kept classified at all times. He moves through decoy convoys, often staying in government buildings fortified with blast doors and underground bunkers. Entry points are locked behind biometric scanners and surveillance drones. Drones sweep the surrounding areas continuously. The corridors he walks are lined with guards wearing full tactical gear, and even the furniture in these compounds is vetted for surveillance devices. He communicates using encrypted satellite phones and specially modified tablets linked to Western intelligence agencies. Every call, every message is routed through hardened military-grade networks. His media appearances are often delayed broadcasts or filmed from inside reinforced rooms where direct access is impossible. Even foreign dignitaries are often kept at a distance. Security sources have described Zelensky's lifestyle as monastic and mobile. His daily schedule is fluid, designed to make targeting him a nightmare. Some insiders say he changes sleeping quarters multiple times a week. Others believe he no longer lives in a single fixed location at all. Food and water are tested for chemical agents. Medical staff are always nearby with antidotes and mobile ICU kits. The psychological strain is immense. Zelensky's image is calm and defiant, but behind it lies a world of flashing red zones, midnight evacuations, and constant updates about who may be trying to kill him next. Multiple assassination plots have been foiled. The FSB, Russia's intelligence agency, reportedly had special units in Kyiv just days into the war, specifically tasked with eliminating him, but no amount of steel can silence the psychological war Zelenskyy wakes up to every day. His protection is improvised, relentless, and defined by survival. He is the world's most hunted leader, living minute to minute in a shifting war zone. But survival in a war zone is not exclusive to Europe. Thousands of miles away, another president faces a battlefield without borders, where the threats are hidden in jungles, power struggles, and the mines beneath his feet. 6. Félix Tshisekedi. Democratic Republic of Congo, Félix Tshisekedi, President of the Democratic Republic of Congo, may not headline global news the way Western leaders do, but behind the veil of political tension and regional conflict, he lives under one of the most complex and dangerous threat environments in the world. The DRC is a nation layered in crisis militias, resource wars, and a dark network of political rivals, and protecting the head of state is a full-time war. Chisa operates in a country with some of the richest mineral deposits on the planet, a fact that has drawn foreign interest, corruption, and violent competition. For decades, cobalt, gold, colon, all critical to global industries, are buried beneath Congolese soil. That reality makes him not just a political leader, but a gatekeeper to billions in global trade, which is why his security detail is anything but symbolic. His convoy moves through the capital, Kinshasa, like a icon. Heads of state form the backbone of his motorcade. These are reinforced with bullet. Despite the state form the backbone of his motorcade, these are reinforced with bullet-resistant glass satellite tracking and blast-resistant panels. Accompanying them are military trucks packed with personnel from the Republican Guard, a unit fiercely loyal to the president and armed with advanced weaponry, including Israeli Galil assault rifles and South African grenade launchers. The Republican Guard, numbering in the thousands, serves as a parallel army within Congo's armed forces. They answer directly to the president and operate independently from standard military chains of command. Their training is rigorous and often held in secret locations. Foreign contractors, mostly from Russia and China, have been seen participating in joint exercises, raising eyebrows across Western intelligence communities. When Tshisekedi travels beyond Kinshasa, his security travels beyond Kinshasa, his security detail expands. Assassinations days in advance. Ovas are deployed to monitor rural airspace on the ground. Snipers take high ground around hotels, meeting sites and airports. Even river patrols are activated on the Congo River, where armed boats follow the president's route day. Trips to riverine provinces. Tshisekedi's government does not disclose the cost of presidential security, but investigative reports estimate it exceeds $100 million annually, an astronomical figure in a country battling poverty and unrest. But his inner circle insists the investment is necessary in 2021 alone. The government claimed to foil at least 3 separate assassination plots, 2 of them allegedly backed by foreign mercenaries. Communication is another layer of his defense. The president uses custom encrypted devices made by Congolese tech teams trained abroad. These are designed to avoid interception from foreign intelligence agencies, especially during international summits. His calls are routed through a satellite network partially owned by state partners. In China and his public appearances, security is suffocating. Guards rotate every as little as possible. Even within his own palace, security is suffocating. Guards rotate every few hours to avoid routine predictability. Secret tunnels inherited from previous regimes connect his offices to nearby military installations. Facial recognition checkpoints control access to certain floors. Every meal is tested through 3 separate databases, one maintained by Congo's internal security, one by allied African agencies, and one overseen quietly by Russian consultants. Yet for all the unpredictability, Congo brings one leader has turned predictability itself into a weapon. He does not react to threats. He engineers environments where threats are erased before they ever form. 5. Jinping, China. When Jinping travels, China does not just protect a leader, it mobilizes a machine. Every public appearance, every trip abroad is wrapped in layers of secrecy, control, and brute intimidation. At the center of his security bubble is the Central Security Bureau, a shadowy body with unchecked authority. These are not ceremonial guards. They are political loyalists with military training handpicked from China's elite. Only the most trusted personnel ever stand Within striking distance of Shea, his primary vehicle, the honky N-71 limousine, is one of the most enigmatic armored vehicles in the world, stretching over 18 feet. The car is custom-built with bulletproof armor, bomb-resistant undercarriage, and sealed air systems designed to survive biological or chemical attacks. It rides on 21-inch armored wheels, moves with the silence of an electric engine, and carries unknown internal countermeasures that have never been confirmed by any foreign intelligence service. When she visits foreign countries, he never uses local vehicles. His entire fleet is flown in via military aircraft. This includes his limousine, decoy vehicles, communications vans, and mobile command posts. Host nations are not trusted. Everything she touches is pre-cleared, sanitized, and verified by Chinese operatives. But his convoy is only the beginning. She typically travels with over 50 vehicles, including advanced security tactical. Security tactical response teams and motorcade scouts. His personal guards carry briefcases known as flying daggers, portable ballistic shields that unfold in under 1 second. These devices are capable of stopping high-caliber rounds and have been seen in drills where agents dive to shield Xi's body within milliseconds. State media has openly shown martial arts drills, anti-terror exercises, and counter-sniper operations run by Xi's detail, but what they do not show is the network of surveillance that trails him everywhere. Before any visit, entire city blocks are swept for electronic devices, facial recognition software, flags unknown. Pedestrians, local police are often replaced with national officers loyal to Beijing. On the ground, public access is shut down, windows facing the Route R. Covered rooftops are cleared, cellular signals are jammed. Chinese intelligence plants operatives in crowds to monitor facial reactions and gestures. If someone claps too late or shows discomfort, they are quietly pulled aside. The air is no less guarded. Fighter jets conduct patrols during his movements. Drone activity is frozen. In some cases, weather control systems have reportedly been deployed to ensure clear skies during high-profile appearances. This includes cloud seeding planes that alter rainfall to maintain perfect optics. Xi's security does not rely on visibility. It thrives in silence. No unscripted moments, no loose conversations, no improvisation. Every camera angle is set, every handshake rehearsed. It is a performance where the audience never sees the wires. Xi's movements are precise, rehearsed, and broadcast for the world to see. But not every fortress of power needs an audience, because deep within the heart of the Middle East, there is a leader whose every step is hidden, every appearance wrapped in secrecy, not to impress the world, but to protect something far more dangerous than a titled divine authority. For Ali Kham, Iran. But as dominating as Xi's presence may be, it is rivaled by a figure who rarely steps into the global spotlight, yet moves with one of the most secretive and militarized security webs in the modern world. Because in Iran, power isn't just political, it's spiritual, and when both are fused into a single man, the